Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm just kidding. Everybody does that. It's really weird. Why what's up? Why what's up? What's up? What's up? It's weird. So, okay. I didn't do a video yesterday. I was, okay, this is what happened. In the morning, I had a really intense video the day before, which isn't actually uploaded yet, but it will be by the time you probably see this. No, it definitely will be. So I decided that because after doing my routine, I just didn't have anything to say. I really didn't. I also was really tired yesterday. I had a long day, and I might be coming down with a cold. But I decided yesterday that I was gonna make my video at the end of the day and not the beginning, so that I could talk out, how I was feeling with people, my wife especially, and just kind of see if maybe by the end of the day I had more in me to share. And then I got to the end of the day and I didn't. And so of course that's a lesson in procrastination. But also I just didn't feel it. And I don't know that I feel bad about that, because this fast was really about doing a routine and about not editing myself. So, yeah. So, I think I did those things still. And I think that, I had this really good conversation with my mama Di, and she was talking about her own experiences with some stuff that she's been, going through and journeying through in her own life. And she said something that really struck me and I think it just resonated truth in this experience for me. She said that she had taken in all this information and all these lessons and stuff that was growing her and changing her, and even changing the way that she was like living and is living. But she didn't have the wisdom to actually unpack it all yet. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like, things are changing around me and in my life, and all the things that I've been learning have really, they've been something that I can apply, and that I have been in my own small strides, in my own small ways. But I definitely am not at a point where I could sit down and systematically go over it and explain it all. I don't have the wisdom yet to unpack all the things that I've learned, and I don't have the wisdom yet to unpack what happened 2 days ago and why I was so affected. It's interesting because emotionally it was like working out for the whole day, like running a triathlon, just exhausting. And at the end of it, I still really can't totally explain what happened, except for that I know I'm not the same person as a result of that experience. And I don't know how long it'll take, or if I'll ever really totally understand. I think something happened in my spirit that my brain didn't even necessarily need to fully grasp. It was something I needed to feel, and I did. And I know that I will unpack it more. And I talked with my wife about what I read and my reaction, And it was still really raw. And so she could see it in me, like, still affecting very deeply, my actual emotions. And she said, you'll figure it out. It might just be that it'll come over time. And that's true. And I think as I was talking to her, I realized that one of the things that I addressed in that experience that I didn't address 7 or 8 years ago when I first healed from that moment was that I really, and I said this too, I think. I haven't watched the video, but I think I said this. I think I realized in the moment the importance of this, but I really focused on forgiveness this time. I think that in the past, when I looked at that moment and I reclaimed that moment in my memories, my goal was to comfort myself and to tell myself, like, hey, this doesn't have to shape who you are. This doesn't have to shape the way you think about yourself or about the world. You can let go of, the bitterness or the fear that this moment caused, that you would have to deal, with being somebody that you felt was lesser. And that was the healing, that was what I went through. But in all the time that I spent revisiting that moment, I never turned around or acknowledged the other people in that memory. I never forgave them. And I think, not that it was intentional, it wasn't like I was like, I'm not going to forgive them for this thing. I just didn't think to do it. And I think that that's what happened. I suddenly was struck with the reality that in a lot of those life-shaping moments in my past, I haven't fully gone into them and really forgiven the people that hurt me or that shaped my thinking negatively. So, yeah, I think that's what happened. That was the significance of that. Also, just seeing people from a totally new perspective. People I love. I think I was a little bit I don't know what the word is, but I think I was a little bit remorseful that I hadn't done that yet. I hadn't stopped and just seen the people I love as just people, as frail humans. I wanted to maintain this standard of how they should treat me, of this. And it's not that that's not important. I think that it's something that I carry with me, that I've always been a people pleaser, and I've always struggled with balance in that. And so it's important for me to remember, that I'm important and I don't have to allow people to hurt me. That's true. But the other side, the balance, is that people are frail too. I do my share of hurting too, and I need forgiveness as much as anyone else. And yeah, I don't know. It was just one of those moments where my spirit got it, and it didn't. I don't know how to brain it. I don't. Yeah. So that's that. Today I read, and yesterday actually, I read the same thing twice again. I moved on to the next chapter, which is awesome. And the new chapter that I read starts with a meditation that I think is really awesome and important. The meditation is, may I know how to nourish the seeds of joy in myself every day. And so the next level of nourishing the seeds of joy and watering those is to do it every single day and not just on the days that you think about joy. Which is something I definitely, I need to work on, because I allow myself to get caught up in moods, and sometimes I forget to nourish joy. The next part of it, and then it changes a little bit to who it's directed at. It says, may I know how to nourish the seeds of joy in myself every day. May you know how to nourish the seeds of joy in yourself every day. May they know how to nourish the seeds of joy in themselves every day. And I really like this. The me, you, they. Yeah. I think it really directly hits all the people at once. So, and then it says, may I be able to live fresh, solid, and free, which are 3 great words. Great words. And I think that yesterday I was being bombarded by a lot of stale thinking. And I think that was part of why I was just in a fog and struggling with things to actually put out there, because I wasn't able yesterday to totally unpack the concept of living fresh, and I needed to let go of some things. So I had to take the time to do that. But I think I tend to do this. I think it happens when I'm talking with other people. I allow myself to get pulled into stale thinking. Just old thoughts, old concerns, and I don't focus as much on right now. And yeah, so this was a really awesome and important meditation, and I think a really good reminder, and something I think I should do first thing, in the day is this meditation. And I pray for this in the morning. So yeah, so the next part of it is the last part of the meditation is, may I be free from attachment and a virgin, but not be indifferent. This is so hard for me. I get attached. This is part of my nature. I get very attached to people, to ideas, to life, to things even. Yeah, that happens. And so that's hard. That's a really hard thing for me. But I realized that these meditations aren't designed the way they are. I don't think Thich Nhat Hanh brought this book about because he thought, you're going to say this meditation and then bam, you're there. That's it. These meditations were designed to be something that you say every day that can help shape you. The screen is changing on my computer and it's changing the color of my face. I'm sorry. I get distracted easily. But these things take time, and I'm okay with that. So yeah. Also, what does it look like to be free of attachment and aversion, which I had to look up because I know I use the word aversion. And I knew what it meant, but I wanted to like look at the real definition. And aversion is like when you like disconnect from something, you know, like completely, like when you have an aversion to something, you like reject that thing. And so to live free of attachment and aversion is balance. To not get overly attached to the point that you are codependent on another person, or that you rely too heavily on them, or whatever things, doesn't matter. But also not to be like so affected by a person that you reject them completely and push them out completely, and that when you think of them you're like, I can't even, you know. But to live between that, you know, not being indifferent too is another part of balance. It's another part of balancing relationships. So I get it. On a very surface level, I get it. But I think that one's going to take time. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I love you guys. Have a good one.